like verbalize things that I was reading so that I can remember it better. But Avicenna, unless I'm misreading him, just straight up says that God doesn't know particulars. He says he knows them in a universal way. He knows them insofar as he knows himself as the principle of those things, as the first principle. But
that's
but
so
he doesn't.
wrong.
Does Thomas
I
mention
know.
Aristotle, or does Thomas mention Avicenna when he treats that question?
I don't know, but it's got to be question 14. I would assume.
14, Article 11, whether God knows singular things.
Yeah, it comes up.
I think it's in the.
I bet he don't.
I bet
was his baby girl, dude.
You could get so many scriptural references that disprove that. You have disposed all things in number, measure, and weight.
Yeah.
Right? What does he say?
He knows the length, the breadth, and the width, whatever.
Give me a sec. And I can...
Every hair in your head.
Yeah. Right. So just as from Proverbs, right, all the ways of a man are open to his eyes. So that God knows singular things, for all perfections found in creatures pre-exist in God in a higher way. But to know singulars is a part of our perfection, and so hence God must know singular things.
I wonder if any of the objections are Avicennian objections, though.
Nothing that he cites.
He doesn't mention Avicenna here, but that doesn't mean they're not Avicennian objections. Maybe Julian could say.
We might have better luck seeing Thomas's response to someone like Avicenna in particular if we were to go to the Contra Gentiles.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. God's knowledge. Okay, let's see. God isn't that God knows. Yeah, that God knows singulars.
Wait, what question?
65, book 1.
Are you on your phone, Jake, or your computer?
No, computer.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I was just wondering if you could see the screen.
Yeah.
He don't mention Avicenna in here.
Hold on.
That doesn't mean it's not. Like,
this is true. Yeah,
not
right.
Like, you know. Yeah. But I don't know Avicenna.
No,
I've found I've been getting along just fine.
I saw they had another colloquium on Islamatomism today.
Yeah, I almost clocked in for it.
Oh, yeah?
Just because it's Hauser, and I just want to hear him rail on something.
That's right. I miss the days of him yelling at me.
Makes me feel alive.
Play another game of what's in my pocket.
Oh, the good old days.
I think you guys were in that class when I don't remember what question he asked me, or what question he asked, or he asked me specifically, and I don't remember what question was, but the answer was body and soul, and I kept saying form and matter. No, but what is that? Blah, blah, blah.
They're different.
Freaking out a little inside. I know they're different, but like, he kept framing the question in such a way that form and matter was still a correct answer. And
which of you did he ask about, like the sense of humor or something?
Oh yeah, I think that was Phil.
Yeah, I think he asked me about that too.
What was that question?
That was so weird. I don't know
like
why
what makes something funny. It's like
and of course Phil has no idea what makes anything funny.
No, I don't. I still don't.
I remember that. Yep.
That's your lead for that's your lead for dates, right? Isn't it, Phil? I don't know what makes anything funny, so
I have no sense of humor.
This is gonna be brutal. Just
this is a forewarning.
And it always is.
You know what you're getting into. I think I remember Hauser's answer too. There's irony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of what you expect. And
right.
It brings about either laughter or sadness.
Yeah, and that is interesting, actually.
I thought, but I think we talked about this one Friday, but years ago about sometimes like something happens exactly the way you expect, and it's hilarious.
Well, yeah, there is anticipation in comedy,
Yeah,
but it's anticipation of something that's nonetheless an unexpected thing, right? You're not going to watch somebody walk up the stairs and laugh when their foot gets to the top of the stairs just like you expected it to. But if you know that they're prone to falling up the stairs and they fall up the stairs again like you were expecting them to, then you're going to laugh because that's not something that you're supposed to do walking up the stairs, right?
Or if you if you're the cause of the irony.
Yeah.
Like if you prank somebody, right? You fully expect that your sleeping friend is going to put the shaving cream on his face because you're tickling his face while you loaded his hands full of shaving cream, but it's still funny, right?
Yeah. It's hilarious.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's a real exercise of human reason right there.
All right. Well, there were there were other things in Avicenna that I wanted to work through to just to make sure. Well, just to see that I'm getting Avicenna right, because that's really my main concern, is that I don't, totally misrepresent him, so that if freaking Osborne or something.
Do you know who's on your board yet?
Nope, no clue.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
If Hauser's on your board, then picking Avicenna was a really bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's on my board, and I didn't know when I picked Avicenna.
I bet Hauser's volunteering to get on board, dude. He's probably hungry for something to do like this. He hasn't ripped a graduate student a new asshole in so long. Probably itching.
Yeah, and then he saw that Seacom picked Avicenna,
Sick
metaphysics, and get me on that board. Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah, I just don't know Avicenna, so I don't know how much I can help. But maybe I can ask you questions or something.
Well, I can try to read the argument that I'm looking at, and we can try to,
Avicenna's probably not online that we can pull up, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let's see.
Somebody get in touch with Captain Ribeiro. We need an ebook.
That meme was so funny. I have it just on the shelf over there, but
well, I just wanted to pull it up for our illustrious viewers. What's the title of that book called?
It's The Metaphysics of the Healing.
Is that what it's called? Like that book? That's the one.
Yeah. Avicenna. The Metaphysics of the Healing. Yeah.
All of his stuff is of the healing. The physics of the healing, metaphysics of the healing.
All right.
Has
give me 2 minutes. And,
has Caldwell published that translation of De Anima yet?
I don't know. I just used the one that he gave me when I was a student.
That's probably what this is. Yes. Oh, still pre-order. When is it coming? It doesn't say. Let's see. So but coming out soon. Yeah, this is probably going to be based off his the one he used at TAC.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be so much better though than the one that Jake has.
Oh, April 8th. So like a couple weeks. Cool.
Wow, this
you had to get that in, Joe, didn't you?
Every time I can, dude.
Dude, best of luck though.
All right, so these are definitely going to look like they did not come from a legitimate source.
I know what you're talking
But you
about.
you can neither confirm nor deny, right?
Yeah, it's called a library, right? And that means free books.
That's where you go to get books. I mean,
If it's called a library, that signifies the essence of what it is. And how else could I know anything other about it, right? I couldn't.
That tracks.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It looks pretty bad though because it's like smashed together both pages into one. I don't know why. All right. Hopefully it looks. Oh, okay. All right. So that was just the preview that was looking real shitty. All right. What page is it, Julian?
201.
Wait, Joe, put the link in where you're looking at.
I'm working. 201. It's not a link. It's a library, Jake. Oh, do you want the link to the library?
Yeah.
I'll do that for you. Let me share the screen here. Is that it?
Oh,
yeah. Hey, that's the one.
All right. Cool.
Super legit.
Yep. So where are we over here? Reading along.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Right. Want to make sure we're using the right terms.
Seems to be a pretty good translation as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it just says Allahu Akbar.
And we just got demonetized right there on the side.
Be on the other side, boys.
Getting a notification they're putting a strike against my channel.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness, what was I watching the other day? It was a group of the guys from Geeks and Gamers, and they had this comedian on, Chrissy Mayer, and but they were talking about it was like this Arab or Middle Eastern, like it was a director or whatever, the guy's name, and they said this name, and she's like, that sounds like something you would say right before you blow up a bus. It's like, oh damn.
All right, Julian, where are we reading?
So he, at least on this page, he's trying to refute the idea that certain causes don't always coexist with their effects.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to say that every cause coexists with its effect, right? And he uses as his primary examples, right? The Father as a cause of the Son, the builder the cause of the building, and then fire the cause of the warmth in the thing. Right?
Okay.
So each of those paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 go through each of those examples one by one. Right. So thereafter the builder's movement is the cause of a certain motion. Thereafter, his immobility and refraining from motion or his ceasing to move and affect transportation after having been transported constitute a cause for the termination of that motion. Now, that very act of transporting and the termination of this motion are a cause of a certain combination, and that I don't know what that means. But maybe we could, I don't know, figure something out. And that combination is a cause for a certain shape taking place, and each of the things that constitutes a cause coexist with its effect. I keep hearing an alarm going off. Am I crazy?
I hear like a little subtle beeping noise, I think, but
yeah,
not an alarm.
I hear something too.
Let me see if it's in my headphones or in my room. I don't hear it in my room.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything.
It's very subtle on my end, Julian.
Yeah, I don't hear it in my room.
I barely noticed it before you pointed it out.
I don't know. I think I'm just going crazy. Reading Avicenna for so long. We go insane. But Yeah. I mean, I can sort of just we can go through the other ones too, and maybe see if we can figure out what's going on.
There's a
in
combination
those as well.
of like matter and form. That's.
I mean, all this is reducible to failing to distinguish the cause of the being versus cause of becoming, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what's
Like-
going on.
Like the father, the builder, the fire. I mean, all of those. He's right in saying that the cause and effect have to be simultaneous.
Yeah.
That's one of the signs of being correlative, but it's the reason that a person doesn't die when his parents die is because the parents aren't responsible for the being of the person, right? They're responsible for the becoming. So if you just make that distinction, you're good to go.
Yeah. And do we say, and this is sort of deviating from Avicenna here a little, but do we call because it seems like to sort of impose St. Thomas here on Avicenna, what am I trying to say? There would no, is there any distinction to be made here between a per se cause and a per accidens one?
Not in all these examples.
Yeah. Okay.
These are all agent causes in their per se in becoming.
In becoming.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Is every cause, not every cause of becoming is a per se cause though, right? Or
not every cause of becoming is a per se. No, I mean
But they all have a per se cause, right?
they being what?
every
Thing
instance of becoming.
Every instance of becoming has to have a per se cause, right? It's just
every effect has a per se cause.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
any per accidens cause would be like when the musician causes something to be hot, right?
Right. Unless he's hot in virtue of his musicality.
Like Mozart.
Yeah, dude, Mozart got it.
His music was lit, dude.
Nice. Nice, Joe.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, yeah. That's good. That helps.
I love
The other
doing questions, man. Freaking great.
Why? Because they're so easy for you to answer.
Yeah. Pretty much it.
I make you feel like a genius.
Nice self-esteem boost.
Yeah. Quick dopamine hit.
That's right. It's like, yeah,
That's what I'm here for, boys. Yeah, see, that's how I'll pass comps. You know, I make them I make them feel good.
Yeah,
Like,
make
you know
Hauser
what?
feel
This
good.
kid deserves to start, working on his dissertation. Makes me feel all fuzzy inside. All right. So the other thing that Avicenna says that I wanted to, it was sort of along the same lines of him saying something wrong, and I want to know why.
Wait, did he say something wrong here?
Well,
I thought he said that these things are not the cause of the subsistence of the effects. I mean, it seemed right here at least.
Yeah, well, I was, because I think it just gets a little bit squirrely, because after that
squirrely. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good high school safe word. I should tuck in.
Is he only, like, the way that he puts it later is that no cause, it's not a true cause if it doesn't coexist with its effect, right? So on the very next page he says, thus the true causes coexist with the effect. As for those that are temporally prior, these are causes either accidentally or as helpers, right? As if they're not real causes or something.
Well, the ones that exist temporally prior would be like my grandparents, right?
Right.
As opposed to
Right.
my father, which isn't my cause. Right? My grandfather's not my cause.
Yeah.
Your grandfather's a remote cause.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's what by helpers, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is making the error of failing to distinguish intrinsic and extrinsic causes. Right.
Say more.
So matter and form are intrinsic causes. So they are simultaneous. Like they're part of the very constitution of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be always involved with the being of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Extrinsic causes are by definition exterior to the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exterior to the intrinsic constitution of it. So a father or the final cause, the agent and final, those are both extrinsic causes, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think that they're not true causes because they don't exist simultaneously with the effect, then you're
well, he's not saying that they're not true causes. He's saying not the true causes. Like if you want the proximate agent cause of an effect, you would look for something that is existing simultaneous with the effect, would you not?
Yeah, well, I mean, there is an agent cause that is simultaneous in causing, so God is an agent cause who's simultaneous in the order of agent causality because he's causing the very being through his agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all I'm saying is that this seems what the text that you read, Julian. As for those that are temporally prior, these are causes either accidentally or as helpers. That's not true. If just being temporally prior doesn't make you an accidental cause or a instrumental cause. In fact, some causes that are temporally prior are more so a cause than the ones that are quote unquote simultaneous with it, because
yeah, that's right.
Like the final cause is first in the order of cause, and it's not accidental. It's the most per se cause, and it's not instrumental either. So
if I set off a long chain reaction that ends in some other action, right? You're not going to look to the very last thing in the chain reaction and say that's the true cause of the effect. You're going to look back to what started the chain reaction maybe some time ago.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, I mean, we do this all the time with political reasoning, right? What's the cause of the war in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Right. Is it right? Is it the fact is I don't know. You could say, oh, is Putin rich now because of energy independence or the lack of energy independence from America? So we're buying Russian oil, and that's basically financing the thing. Or is it even prior to that? And we have other things going on, like, oh, maybe Biden's inaptitude, as a leader, and
that's
things like that. And you can keep going backwards, and say, oh, is it prior to that? Is Putin had the intention all along to do this?
Yeah.
You could, but either way, none of those. Just because they're not immediate with a thing doesn't mean they're not essential or non-instrumental, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Avicenna is just wrong, per usual.
You believe some people make their whole career out of studying this?
Yeah, what a joke. What a waste. I mean, look at this BS chicken scratch on the right side. Garbage. Ugh.
I love this is like, you can't say something like this, but I'm just gonna say it anyway because Jake already
Yes.
like the thing
Yes.
that you say.
Go.
Well, it's
Yes.
just calling it somebody. I saw it on Facebook somewhere. Some political post, maybe from Trump a long time ago, and some Arabic person commented under it in Arabic, and somebody underneath them commented and said, "Stop speaking noodle."
Noodle.
I know.
Oh boy.
Oh, oh, God bless
Oh,
the
man.
USA.
Where is that guy?
Oh, yes.
Is there an obituary where we're gonna find that guy's name somewhere?
Probably.
In a hall of fame somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in the New Jerusalem.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's like, as I've been reading this, I have sort of wondered why Thomas why Thomas takes Avicenna as an authority even in some instances.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, why
Like, was
even
that-
bring him up?
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Not
He
really.
mentions Avicenna frequently.
Not authoritatively. Most often, the most common citation of Avicenna and Averroes is in criticism.
That's in his treatise on man. But when he's
In
writing
every
on
treatise.
when he's writing on metaphysics, he cites Avicenna all the time. Not like as frequently as Aristotle, but it's not like you're saying.
I mean,
Just read De Ente. Like it's
the very first distinction he makes in De Ente, he attributes to Avicenna.
Yeah.
No.
Jay, come on.
Yeah, okay. Sure. That's an argument.
Oh, it's there, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, we can pull it up, I guess, but
I mean, yeah, that's probably true, but the biggest, I mean, there are a whole opuscula devoted to the error of these guys all the time. Like,
Sure. Well, just the Averroes.
yeah, it is against the Averroes.
The Summa Contra Gentiles has directed chapters devoted to defeating the thought of Avicenna and Averroes. So,
well, I mean, I guess my point then, or the thrust of my question then is, even if Thomas just did it once, why would he even do it once? If he spends all this time saying why they're wrong, why even once would he say, according to Avicenna? Right?
Maybe he's trying
because
to
they're
show,
taken as it. Well, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that through their other people are reading him, and he's like, "Let me show you what's true in here, right, and what's false in here." Because other people are studying Avicenna with authority, and they're going to be like, he's going to be like, "Look, even Avicenna agrees with me on this." Is that what you were going to say, Jake, or something else? Something like that?
Yeah, other people are taking him as an authority. So,
yeah,
if you want to speak authoritatively to those people,
yeah,
then
the Arabs were big in Thomas's time. The Abyssinian guys were right about that.
Well, because they got their hands on Aristotle first, right? So by the time that it got translated into Latin, at least this is what I think McInerney says, that they were sort of accompanied by the
commentaries,
Islamic commentaries, and so,
yeah,
Yeah, you couldn't really read this brand new Aristotle guy, or these brand new things from Aristotle without having read the Islamic guy.
Yeah, I could certainly see myself being like, 12th century French monk with no training, being like, how the hell do I understand Aristotle? And then just taking these guys for granted or something. Sort of the way I take Thomas.
You'd have to have no training.
What?
You'd have to have no training if you were putting your faith in this.
Well, they all would have, right? If they, like, all they could have read was the Organon.
Yeah. McInerney notes that a lot of the reason why why like authorities in the church were being tempted to censure Aristotle and to say that he shouldn't be studied at all was because they hadn't actually read the Aristotle text. They had just read, or maybe even not even read, but heard about the Islamic interpretations of Aristotle.
Dude,
and then
even if they just heard that the
that to be-
Islamics were reading Aristotle, maybe that's reason enough.
But okay, so yeah, so the other thing that I wanted to look at in the same kind of vein, like I said, where Avicenna says something wrong, and I want it to be clear in my mind why. Another instance of that is he says that it is not the case that whenever the agent bestows existence, it bestows an existence like itself. Right. Sometimes it may bestow an existence like itself. This is page 205, by the way, Joe.
Okay, let me share again.
Sometimes it may bestow an existence like itself, and sometimes it may bestow an existence not like itself, as, for example, fire that blackens versus heat that warms.
Chapter 3 here?
Yep, that's the one.
Yep. Okay.
And he goes on this really, really long thing, like a multi-part argument thing that's going on, and I would have to kind of like dig a little bit to find places where he gets to the sort of crux of the thing, but I think the main the sort of weird step that he takes in the argument is on page 207 at the end of the main paragraph at the top of the page, where he says, "It is thus evident, right? It is thus evident that the effect cannot be equal to it if the meaning is identical with existence itself. Hence, that which bestows a thing's existence, inasmuch as it is existence, has the greater claim to existence than the thing." Right. So it seems like his the argument about how some cause or some agents don't make something like themselves hinges on the idea that by like itself means equal to. Equal to meaning
He's talking about an existence like itself too.
Yeah.
Right? And not an essence like itself. Or so, like when Thomas considers equivocal causes, right? And I think he says something like how a cause can cause and effect according to the same form and the same formality, and then he mixes those up and he distinguishes a few different ways, right? Where a cause can produce an effect, such that sometimes it's reproducing its very self, and other times it's like the sun generating, or maybe one of Avicenna's examples would fit, or like God. But here Avicenna seems to be talking about existence itself. So if you had, well, I don't know if he would say this, because he doesn't want to attribute an essence to God, right? Doesn't he think that God is just, you can't even see that.
But the examples don't talk about existence.
But the one down here did, right? This is,
Yeah, I think he's making a move there.
Yeah.
What, fire blackening?
Yeah, right. The kind of existence, right? I don't know what he means there. Sometimes it may bestow an existence like itself. Sometimes it may bestow an existence not like itself. For example, fire that blackens or heat that warms.
So that's not
Heat
like
that
itself
warms
and
is
like it
really weird.
is like
Yeah.
itself, right?
Oh,
That's an
okay. So he's
example.
comparing the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he is talking about essence then. I don't know. His necessary existent argument doesn't come until book 7, right? Or book 8.
I think it's book 8.
So it's later.
Where
So-
you mean the argument in which Avicenna tries to prove that there is a
Existence of
necessary
God.
existence?
Yeah.
Oh, that's way earlier. That's like
Well, there's two. There's like I remember there's the one very like short form, and then there's the longer demonstration later in the book. We had to read both of them.
okay.
It's just
Yeah.
weird that that's what makes me think that it doesn't make sense that he wouldn't be talking about essence here. This sort of discussion that like maybe if you want to show that the necessary existent isn't going to produce another necessary existent or something like that. I don't know where this text is going. That seems like it follows after you prove that there is a necessary existent, that you start talking about the kinds of properties that such a thing would have, these kinds of actions that it would be able to perform. So I'm just trying to understand what he's on about out of context.
What's your question, Julian?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to identify the wrong step where Avicenna goes wrong in the argument, and I think it's so I thought it was
Can you try to articulate his argument for us?
well, it'll probably be not a great representation, but
That's the
it's
spirit.
like
Where are you, Julian? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, is the argument seems? I mean, well, this is just what I was trying to say before, that I think the argument seems to hinge on the idea that he seems to think that likeness means being identical or being equal to, and so, but that, well, I don't think you could. I don't think that's necessarily what the principle means when it says that every agent makes something like itself. But then, so when we were looking at the text, he was. It seemed like he was talking about equality in existence or something like that.
Likeness just means
where we
likeness of
stopped,
form.
people know.
Yeah, and that's why it's weird that he's talking about existence.
Yeah.
That's
I think
what's
it's just a
throwing me
bad
off.
translation.
Yeah, but the only words that I remember from Hauser on this were like wujud and maujud, and I think they translated into ends and essay. I don't remember any sort of ambiguity about the translation of essence. I can't remember what that word was, but go ahead, Jake.
No. I thought it was more racism.
You're brown. You can do it.
Oh, I'm not afraid. It's just not helpful.
Yeah, we don't want to lose that steady income we're getting.
Yeah.
No, likeness is likeness of form.
Yeah.
That's what he's referring to, and that's what the example manifests.
Yeah.
And the cause is more noble than the effect insofar as it's a cause. That's true. St. Thomas uses that very argument to manifest the fact that form can exist apart from matter, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so go on with your summary of the argument so that we can see what's wrong.
Well, that was basically it. That that like he'll say it's clear that not every agent is equal to its effect. So, therefore, not every agent makes something like itself.
The weird thing is, it just seems like he's talking about efficient causes here.
Yeah.
He's not talking about efficient causes causing form, but causing being.
Yeah, so I guess if that's the argument, then the thing is, the problem with it is that every agent acts according to its form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And every cause causes insofar as it makes an effect to have the form that it possesses in some way, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
But the distinction that he's failing to see is that the effect can either receive the form in a manner that's like the thing that possesses it, or in a manner in a manner lesser than the way that possesses it, right? So, like, fire can have the form of heat, and it can give heat to something like a metal rod, and that metal rod can possess the heat in a way that's common to the way that the fire possesses heat. Not in the way of it coming from itself per se, but kind of having the same level of heat, right?
Yeah, the heat is the same sort of thing.
The heat is the same reality, and it's sort of possessed. It's in the thing in the same way, right? It's in.
Mm-hmm.
It's something in. So it's not received in a lesser way than the way that the fire has it. Just in talking about the way it exists in it, but there are other things like equivocal causes, which have forms and act according to the forms that they possess, but they don't. The effects that they cause don't enjoy the forms that the equivocal causes have in the same way that the equivocal causes enjoy them, right? So God, for example, I mean, this is the easy one, right? Enjoys being, right? And that's sort of his form, if we were to speak kind of loosely, right? But the effects that receive his causality, namely being itself, don't possess it in the same way. It's received in a lesser mode than the way that the cause has it.
I pulled up.
So just because the form is different, in other words, it doesn't mean that the agent isn't acting according to its form, and it's not sharing the form that it has. It is. It's just not. It's not enjoyed by the effect according to a full mode of participation, right?
Yeah. So would we say that the difference? So the difference is in the way that the effect possesses the form, as opposed to the way the agent possesses the form. Right.
Have you read this
Yeah.
article, Gene? 42 hours.
Yeah. Well, not well. You mean like for comps?
Yeah, or well, I mean, really, just I think this is helpful because this is where Thomas talks about these sort of distinctions.
Yeah.
Where you've got a univocal agent and different kinds of
Yeah.
because that's what we're talking about, right? The
Right.
different ways that form can be received.
What question is this?
4-2, I think. Yeah, 4-2.
Oh, okay.
Could a man making bread Would that would be an equivocal cause, right?
Yes.
Like
Well, the man is an
because the
equivocal
man
cause.
possesses the form of bread differently than the matter in which he's putting it into. Right?
Well, yeah, he possesses it as a potential part of the whole form of the culinary art that he possesses, right? But the bread possesses the form of bread in a particular and less universal way, right? So yeah, man is an equivocal cause.
There's an article about equivocal causes, I think, put forward by what's the journal that Thomas Aquinas College puts out?
The
Aquinas
Aquinas Review.
Aquinas Review, yeah, where he goes over different examples of equivocal causes, and one of them he uses is the way intellect produces things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Which one is that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I could probably find it though.
Is equivocal cause in the title of the article?
I think so.
So too. Yeah, without Aristotle's son, are there any equivocal causes besides God?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
It's in. I'll link it here. It's in there. Or you Google, I
Yeah,
guess I'll
yeah.
check. Yeah. So it's on page 79.
Yeah. I see
That's
it.
a good one.